For my Pro-Am day, I went with Martin Ford. He owns the cotton candy guy business and uses different marketing strategies to try to increase profit and sell more food. Martin is the owner slash manager of the cotton candy guy business. So, first of all, some main tasks on a typical day would be prepping for events like making food and setting up, and getting health permits for the events, purchasing products like frozen food like French fries or chicken. Other things he does, delivers equipment, and also while he's preparing, he tries new things to sell and what prices to put on those new foods, so he tries to decide what would be a fair price. So the most important activities he does are prepping for the events, because if he's not prepared, then that would not be good. He wouldn't be able to sell food. Lining up employees, so getting them to their work in time, and making sure that he has enough employees to work. Also lining up the product, because if he doesn't have the product in place, he can't make sales, and so he won't make a profit. He won't be able to stay in business. And so he also, along with lining up employees, he needs to line them up quickly so he can put out the product quickly. So since the demand can get pretty high, he wants to have quick service. So problems or challenges in this type of work. The main thing he talked about was machines breaking, because it hurts your sales, first of all, because you can't make more food. And electricity also decreases sales, so when the electricity goes out, that's not good, because obviously he doesn't have power to do the machines. Like cotton candy, for instance, you can't plug them in, so they won't run. Can't make more food. So also, the next thing is the benefits of this kind of employment. So it's part-time, so he can choose his work schedule because he owns the company, and the events aren't all the time 9 to 5, except during certain parts of the year. Like this year, instead of working 40 hours a week, he works 60 to 80, so that can be a little more challenging. Another benefit would be the prepping isn't too difficult, which is what he does a lot of, is preparing and trying to decide what prices to put on the items he's about to sell. And it's very flexible. The fall time. Next thing would be the required training or education qualified would be, it's not really a serious education. You need to have a business mind, analyze, you need to have a good knowledge of management and business. So maybe if you're deciding to go to college, you should take some marketing and economics classes, or just even take those in high school, because you need to know what to sell them for. Recommended training or education. The next thing is what entry-level jobs would lead to this position. Well, there's not really like entry-level jobs that get you higher to this position, but there are some things you can do to get to this position, I guess. So he is basically an entrepreneur of this business. So I guess some entry-level jobs that maybe would lead to this would be just working lower to someone who does have this job, and they can teach you things, and then you can start your own business. Okay, so special skills needed in this occupation. You need to have a marketing background and know how to price items and what people will want to buy. Recommended post-high school education. In my opinion, you might just want to have an internship, because that would probably get you a lot more experience than going to college, because he said going to college didn't really help him as much, that he kind of just had to learn. So technology they use Excel a lot to type in numbers and decide if they're making profit. So that's a really quick and easy way to do that. Also, printing signs through a computer for like carts and things they sell for. Also, he said one thing that they're starting to use now are credit card readers that plug into your smartphone, and he said that's really helpful because a lot more people are using credit cards and not as many people are carrying around cash. So that's really helpful so they don't lose people just because they don't have money. They could still sell. Also, technology uses texting for employees. You can send the picture of the schedule. It's really easy and simple. Some advice for someone trying to reach this position. He said you can't expect huge sales first off. You have to look at the numbers a lot, and you have to be really smart with that. And you can't just like jump right into it. He said some people are just trying to jump right into having this position. You have to ease into it. It took him a long time before he got successful.